It's not like the police who work for the mayor of the town that Tiffany is the mayor of would, you don't think that they would kind of try to quash the information to keep it from getting out? You don't think they do that, do you? Tonight, Kansas City police have finally caught up with a one-legged man who has been on the run from the law for over 7 years, dodging invaders and winning the Special Olympics. A stigmatizing stadium story, historically stated. Still, its steep sticker shock to strip the stucco in the stands could move these stadiums cross-state. Fani and Tiffany got man problems, and at the rate they're going, the reality show is right around the corner for both of them. Find out what we're talking about on this week's episode of The Black Man Show. Welcome to the BS. Now let's go. What is good? What is good? Ladies and gentlemen, I am Seven Blackman, and this is The Black Man Show, a place where we can dissect the news with a little bit of 7 cents. So hit that like button to show YouTube that everybody should get a little bit of this black man. But with that said, let's get to it. So I thought we'd start off with an update of the Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis disqualification case. So for those of y'all who don't know, Trump is being indicted for his election interference for seeking 11,780 votes from the state of Georgia voter rolls in order to overturn the 2020 election, pushing Georgia lawmakers to sue Trump under the RICO Act, normally associated with the mafia and the mob or mob activity. Now you got Georgia DA Fani Willis, who appointed Nathan Wade as special prosecutor with no prior experience that can be shown without a parental advisory sticker. And you can click around here, probably here, no, here. You can click up here to see where we told that story last time. So DJT finds out and asks to have them both basically taken off the case. But things go back and forth. Case happens. Mama, daddy, black thing, money in the house, cash. All that takes place. Again, you can check here to see the story. And that leads to the judgment that took place on this past Friday. So with that, the judge ordered on Friday that there was no conflict of interest. Mind you, the judge himself has made donations to her campaign, Fani Willis that is, and he has worked under her at one point, and he's right now running for re-election himself, so he probably got bigger fish to fry than be worrying about this thing. He's trying to make sure he still got a job. Now, he did rule that Fani can stay on the case, but she must decide if Wade stays. Now, if he does stay, then they're both probably gonna be gone, but since he's made over $700,000 so far at the state's expense, I'm thinking he's done okay. So Wade actually ended up withdrawing from the case the same day as the judgment, right? So you would think with that, Fani is, good and cool and all out of the woods, right? Well, that leads us to now. So obviously she's not out of the woods because the Georgia State Senate is currently investigating her conduct during this whole trial. And with that, the defendants have all together filed a joint motion for immediate review under the suspicion of due process violations, which basically is just saying that they feel like there were things that were presented in the case that would have shown that there was some malfeasance on her part to the extent that she should be disqualified. However, they're just basically saying, we don't believe in the judge's judgment. So basically, from what I've heard, this is like a very irregular thing to do because they haven't even gone to trial yet. You know what I'm saying? So they're saying that before we even go to trial, we feel like having her still on the case is a bad move. So preemptively, we're going to go ahead and ask for this motion that you all can that you will have this immediate review of the case. So it would go from the court that they're in now to a higher court. So they're basically asking in the court that they're in now, can they go to the higher court? I mean, when you look at it, they're basically saying that the sacrifice of Wade ain't enough. They want Fani too. It was like in The Sopranos where Tony shot his cousin Tony in the face for the guys from Jersey who still didn't think that was enough, that eventually led to a war between both groups at the end of the series. All that to say, this ain't over by a long shot. And suddenly I'm beginning to understand why they employed the RICO Act. kind of makes sense. And basically, so with this challenge in place, they're challenging Judge McAfee's ruling. And with his permission, with this review that they've put before him, if granted, they would have 10 days to file an appeal. Now, because he has supporters in Congress, of course, none other than Congress's favorite wrestling coach who allowed kids to get molested under his watch, saying nothing when the kids saw too much, Jim Jordan sent a subpoena directly to Fani's office addressing what he and they believe to be a mismanagement of federal funds and requesting certain documents that would show the receipts for the usage of the funds that they received from the feds, as well as for any potential misusage of those funds. So now Fani and her office have until the 20th of March to produce those documents, or they could be held in contempt by Congress after that point. And I really don't know what that would mean, but I don't think that's a good thing, especially for a lawyer. And with the fact that those documents hadn't come out already when asked the first time, we're kind of looking at a lot of hubris, if you ask me. It's a whole lot of hubris, a whole lot of money, and some power plays being made on both sides, right? I mean, we got Willis and her outright insubordination, as well as Drumpf using his friends still in high places to do whatever he can to discredit the cases against him, hoping that the banana in the tailpipe will take people off the damn scent of the former president who tried to steal an election. I mean, we still got to keep the main thing, right? I mean, especially in an election year, right? Now, 4 Kansas City women can breathe a slight sigh of relief now that one particular actual predator has been removed from these Kansas City streets. And it's all due in part to the man's third leg. And when I say that, I'm talking about his prosthetic leg. That's right, 65-year-old Raytown man Warren Eric Carter, prostitute patron and peg leg partier, who's practically privy to probe a pro's posterior in holes aplenty, to the point of pushing police to put out an APB on a plastic body part, not his penis, has been pegged.
Lock his ass up! Lock his ass up!
That's to say, your boy Carter was out there snatching it from young ladies as far back as 2012 up to December of 2019, and a man has finally been brought to justice. Now, they've all given the same or similar stories, that their attacker had a prosthetic right leg and or had a missing leg, according to court documents. So you think it'd be pretty easy to narrow down the list of suspects a bit. I mean, I don't know. First thing you do is put out anybody who's got both legs from the list, you know what I'm saying? Then from the dozen or so you got left, you start doing the detectiving, right? I'm just saying, 7 years? 7 years? Now, it wasn't just the missing member that did him in, it was also a little thing like the DNA he allegedly left. In 2 cases in particular, Hopalong's residue is directly linked. He also would use a firearm to get them into his car, drove them to a secluded area, forcing them to perform. Arrested this past Sunday evening, charges for Carter include 1 count of forcible rap with an E, or attempted, in the first degree, 1 count of forcible sodomy, 3 counts of sodomy, or attempted, in the first degree, 1 count of kidnapping, and 2 counts of kidnapping in the first degree. He's currently being held on a $200,000 bond with a review hearing set for March 25th as police continue to collect more data on other possibly related crimes. Now, I for one can say I'm thankful that someone like this is off the streets, and if what I've heard about what they do to rapists in prison is true, I'm sure Lil Tink hopes that he don't get jumped. Please remember the name, Warren Eric Carter of Raytown, Missouri. So next up, we have the Dalton mayor, Village of Thornton Township manager, and Lil Weezy doppelganger, Tiffany Henyard, who is at it again. Please look at one of our previous videos for a breakdown, but for right now, I will just give some of the current highlights of what these shenanigans entail. Now, first up, this young lady was on Roland Martin's show in an interview stating that she doesn't know who created her own foundation with her name on it, stating this.
So I want to set the record straight. I don't have a foundation. I am a supporter of anybody that's struggling with cancer. My mom had breast cancer, and I'm always push anybody that has that. If someone uses my name to push their charity, or if you say this is Tiffany t-shirt, people gonna buy it. Because right now, consider what? Clickbait. People make money off of my name by views. So you just say my name.
You say you don't have a foundation.
I do not. And that's why I tell everybody, go do your research. I'm not on anything.
However, to that end, we have her also saying this.
I have created Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. I have created Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation.
Now she's got this foundation saying that she doesn't own it. It's got a name on it saying it's not hers. Things are happening in the name of the foundation, and who knows where money is going, because who knows who actually owns the thing. Oh, wait, actually, if you look into the documents, you'll see who actually owns it are people who are associated with the office that she's a part of. But apparently she still knows nothing about who did it. I can't even imagine who would open an office or who would open a foundation in my name and collect money. Who would do such a thing? Oh, perish the thought. You know what I'm saying? So, and then on top of that, her office is associated with somebody by the name of Dorothy Brown, who is a village advisor, getting paid $100,000 a year. Now, Dorothy Brown, in her own right, she was a clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County from 2000 to 2020. And I am somebody who had to experience her office personally. I will make a whole side video so y'all can check it out, because so that way you can get an idea of my firsthand interaction with this lady's corruption. But this woman is an advisor to Tiffany Henyard's office in the suburbs. So just letting you know who she's surrounding herself with already. So she got the bad foundation. She got bad people surrounding her. Let's keep going. Now, I've talked about this before, but her man, or maybe, I don't know, maybe he's also maybe he's her ex as well too. I don't know, maybe she's pulling a Fani on this one. But her man, Lavelle Redmond, was assigned to be the town of Dalton's code enforcement officer, right? Now, this is a man who served 24 years for gang rape and beating of 2 teenage girls in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Now, he's working in her office. He's never registered as an S offender, and he's allowed, according to Tiffany Henyard, to have a second chance at the mayor's discretion without any input from the city council or listening to advisors or the citizens who raised the concern in the first damn place. And that's probably the reason that she didn't want background checks done on any of her staff. And let's be real, she's gotta be fucking the man, because, I'm sorry, she gotta be. Because on top of calling the man her friend, she also took this picture. And this ain't where you put your hand when taking a picture with the mayor, unless you smashing that, period. She and Fani gotta get enough of putting some D where you eat. Wait a minute. I mean, y'all gotta get enough of putting the D where your mouth is. Wait. I mean, y'all gonna get enough of trying to bone where you break bread. It's taking down many a man in positions of power. Why would you be treated any differently? And isn't this the sort of equality that you really want, ladies? And that brings us to the actual assault that allegedly took place in Vegas last year when she and the staff went to Vegas, or they didn't go.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
But one of her staff was SA'd by one of her trustees. Now, no one's been arrested, but the Illinois Department of Human Rights has been investigating the allegation and alleged retaliation where Henyard's staffer woke up disoriented in trustee Andrew Holmes' bed/bedroom while in Vegas, trying to hope that whatever happened there would stay there, apparently. But right now, South Holland police are cooperating with the state of Nevada, because when she initially reported this information to the Dalton police, who are in Tiffany's pocket, mind you, it apparently somehow it seems that well, I mean, it's not like the police who work for the mayor of the town that Tiffany is the mayor of you don't think that they would kind of try to quash the information to keep it from getting out? You don't think they do that, do you? But like I said, the South Holland police is now cooperating with the state of Nevada. Since then, reports have come out that Holmes was arrested and all that. However, that's been proven to be unfounded, noted by the super mayor herself.
Lock his ass up.
But what does that mean for the other part of the news, Tiffany? When are you gonna address that? I mean, when do you need to waste more money or to create another diversion tactic, like you're calling in a fake gas leak because you think the feds is watching like you did last time? Just saying, you're incredibly sure about one thing and speak so harshly, but then your church mouth's quiet about the next thing. You know, like the SA, your boy Andrew Holmes, the trustee, the Vegas trip itself.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment, no comment, no comment.
And then we've got some extra little tidbits, like she actually fired this woman who was speaking out about being sexually assaulted. So the woman was put on forced leave, right? But she was thinking that she was still gonna get her situation handled by the Dalton Police Department, again, who were in Tiffany's pocket. So that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Which is why this event, which took place last year, well, we're just now finding out about it now. And lastly, we've got a situation where a woman has filed a case against the city of Dalton and the mayor for wrongful termination. Now, she was told by Henyard not to provide business license for anybody but who she approved, adding to the more than 40 lawsuits currently against Henyard. 40 lawsuits against the mayor right now. I don't know if there's is that like a rite of passage or something like that? Is that a good thing? I don't know. What's the average number of lawsuits that a mayor gets in a normal tenure? Per capita, if you will, if anybody wants to set that up for me. So somebody help me out. Put that in the comments, please. I mean, maybe at day's end, it's all just fake news and we're the ones who are getting it wrong. Right, Tiffany?
Because y'all don't want to do the research. Y'all keep listening to people and no one's showing you fact. They keep telling you fiction, fake stories, fake news, like for real, stop. But go check, guys, if you really want to know the truth so you can understand what it is that we're fighting over. I'm basically fighting against the devil, the evil spirits. I'm the good spirit, they the evil spirit.
Because there were good witches, right, Glenda?
I never seen nobody try to tear down people this much. We in the news every single day. Y'all, if y'all ain't got it, I don't know what to tell you. I am a black single parent. And I get beat up on every day because y'all want what Frank Zuccarelli had. He been here for 30 years. 30 years, I ain't see y'all question none. I ain't see y'all show up. I ain't see y'all make no noise about nothing that been going on in this township. It's a lot. But no one said nothing. Everybody was sitting on mute. But now, all of a sudden, everybody got something to say. Why? Because the person, the little engine that could got the seat. The one y'all didn't see coming got the seat. People, it's not the typical way, and it's a way that God, because only God can place you where He wants you at. No matter what y'all trying to tear down, you can't tear down something that God gave to you. So that's what the issue is right now. So this is my way of trying to educate the public or people here. But go and research things before y'all start believing the hype, because at the end of the day, they'll make you believe in something that's really good for you, and you will tear it down before that you see the good opportunity in it. I'll say that.
Riveting stuff. So I just wonder with this young lady, as well as with Fani Willis, why is it that you all become so religious when the shit gets thick? I mean, does it only kick in that you're religious when you're in trouble? Why is it that God is invoked, but only when you're going through it? I mean, you can spend government funds, block concerned citizens out of meetings, hide and keep records from getting out, and bang the N-word, educated or pedophilic, that you put into place without any thoughts to the man, woman, or person upstairs who said other things that you maybe should also follow before touting yourself as a follower. And what are you saying to other parishioners here? Do as I say, not as I do? Who can't remember the Bible verse that these young ladies have obviously turned into a commemorative tramp stamp that reads, "You're only in the wrong if you get caught"? I believe it comes from the book of Dude, You Follow Me. Kansas City. I wanted to look at one of the items up for vote in the upcoming Jackson County election in Missouri, and that's the 3/8 cents tax extension. This is a tax that already is in play now and has been since 2006 and is set to expire in 2031. Now, the vote will extend this tax for another 40 years, providing income for renovations or to help fund a move on behalf of the Chiefs and Royals, respectively. Apparently, repairs to Royals Kauffman Stadium are such that it is actually cheaper to build a $2 billion stadium in downtown Kansas City in place of the current and meagerly occupied Kansas City Star building. Yes, I know I'm dating myself because, you see, there used to be a thing called newspapers, and they did what I'm doing now. They told you the news. Now, as someone who's a fan of funky architecture, I'd much rather see the building turn into a children's museum or a climbing gym or something like that instead of an area where you run the risk of having your windshield cracked by a homer. And no, I don't mean from the Royals, I mean from their opponents. Yeah, that's right, I want the smoke. I'm a Cubs fan and I'm wearing a Sox hat. I don't care. And speaking of parking downtown, there won't be any. Well, that is to say that there won't be any new parking because there are 40,000 parking spots within walking distance or so. And who doesn't like paying to park a mile away, spending half of your time standing in one place, watching your team lose, then walking your drunk ass back to your car? I mean, if you remember where it is, and if it hasn't been told. As long as there aren't any other events going on downtown at the same time, like a festival or normal weekend at the P&L or a Drake concert at T-Mobile Center, just across the bridge. And it's not like trying to get to a doubleheader in the middle of rush hour will cause any problems like making traffic in a very small downtown of a small city even more congested. Of course not. So at the same time, the Chiefs are looking to make some major improvements, including new video boards and upper level canopy to keep the fans dry in the cheap seats, and creating a separate tailgating space that can be used year-round and would coincidentally be in the same space where the Royals Kauffman Stadium currently is, almost making it seem like this is a move that's basically a foregone conclusion and this upcoming vote is merely just a formality. But what if it isn't? What if the citizens don't vote to extend the tax until 2071? Well, the Chiefs and Royals have both threatened to vacate the county altogether if they don't get what they want, with them funding the local campaign called the Committee to Keep the Chiefs and Royals in Jackson County. Well, shit, if that ain't on the nose, then this ain't sus.
Here's the final stop of the day. Total wines. See the line started over there.
But the Royals maintain that the cost to build a whole new facility will be cheaper than fixing the current one, at $1 billion to repair versus $2 billion for a new build. Now look, I didn't get these fancy debt-inducing degrees for nothing. I'm pretty sure 2 is greater than 1. Can somebody check the math on that? Just to be sure. And with the Chiefs, I mean, it's one thing to win a couple Super Bowls back to back, but it's a whole other thing to be on some Mr. Me Too type shit when it comes to how the Chiefs are like, yeah, we got some ideas too. We want to do some stuff. I mean, your job is to shut up and be pretty. So now we know this is really about money. The Chiefs want a more appealing stadium for their world champs, and the Royals want to get from under the Big Brother shadow. And in the meantime, ain't none of y'all thinking about the undecided voters who may be swayed with some free tickets in the mail like our local zoo does every now and then. I'm just saying, y'all are funding the wrong campaign if you ask me. But I will say I'm exceptionally happy with this one response to all of this that read, fuck both stadiums. They have millions but want hardworking people to pay for their bullshit. The Royals definitely don't need a new stadium. Send they asses to Satchel Paige Park to play. Winning a World Series 15 years apart? Fuck out of here with that nonsense. I shouldn't have to pay for shit I don't watch or go see. Let the ones who want them to stay pay for that shit. I said what I said. MF is threatening to leave if they don't get their way. Bye, motherfuckers. But what do you think of all of this? Will you local Jackson County citizens be voting for this tax extension? Are you ready to go to the state of Kansas to get your Chiefs fix? Side note, for all of you who have never seen a U.S. geography test that you could pass, there is a city called Kansas City in Missouri, and then there's one called Kansas City in Kansas. Please, never, ever get them confused. And lastly, is the threat of a teamless town really that bad? I mean, we could be the next Columbus, Ohio. What's the worst that could happen?
Mama told me one day it was gonna happen, but she never told me when. She told me it would happen when it was much older. Wish it would have happened then. This is the end. You know, they should have like a substance abuse resistance program for people who are addicted to bad teams. they should have that, because for those of y'all who are unaware, your boy 7 Blackman I'm a Bears fan. Hello, my name is 7 and I'm a Bears fan. I'm really baffled at the latest news that's going on with regard to our quarterback, or our previous quarterback in Justin Fields. I honestly don't think the guy got a good break. I mean, he was the 4th quarterback selected behind Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Trey Lance. And of those 4, only 3 of them are still with the team, with or starting for the team that drafted them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That seems to be a going trend, to be quite honest. Justin didn't seem to get a fair shake in that, you know, he didn't have a whole lot around him. His first year didn't seem like, when we had Matt Nagy as our coach, that they actually had a game plan in place for the man. They didn't protect him. I mean, hell, he was sacked 8 times in his first game. And things just went downhill from there, you know, so it was almost like some, oh shit, I wasn't even planning to have anything for you, and now I need to rest all my whole season on you as my final year as a head coach. Oh yeah, and by the way, I had planned to put everything on Andy Dalton because, of course, he's the embodiment of health. You know what I'm saying? So that was year 1. Then year 2, okay, now Justin Fields, you're the guy, I guess. And yeah, by the way, all you have is a running back. That's all you have, just a running back. So, you know, so the passing part of your game, yeah, good luck with that. We're also going to give away all the other marginally good people. So you do have a tight end. So you have a tight end and a running back. There you go. Third year, it's apparent you have no line, but we're going to give you an all-star receiver. But since you have no O-line and we took away your running back, good luck passing or completing any timing routes or anything like that, right? I mean, and don't get me wrong, the defense is dope. I think the defense is dope. Especially the last half of the season last year, they did very well. We seem to have somehow stumbled upon having one of the best, if not the best, quarterback in the league as of right now. So that's saying a lot for the man to have no interceptions his first 3 years. Then when it comes to a contract year, all of a sudden he's all world wide cornerback picking off everything. So it's just kind of weird, but hey, you do what you got to do when there's money on the line. I'm just saying. But now we got to a point where we've bolstered the line. We've lost 1 safety, but we added 2 more. We've added another all-pro wide receiver at the same time, and instead of saying, hey, we're gonna give this to this quarterback, and now you have an opportunity to do a good thing. Now they're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and get rid of your ass too. so they just, you know, and I get it. It's not like his numbers were all world. He wasn't beating the world or anything. And, you know, you would hope that if you have a quarterback who is worth anything, he can do something with whatever is in front of him, kind of like C.J. Stroud did, who, oddly enough, came from the same school. Yeah, and he wasn't in line to win any Rookie of the Year awards or anybody of the Year awards at any time. As a matter of fact, I think he held the ball the most, you know, throughout his years. But and don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting there saying that Justin Fields was like the best quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the better ones we've had, and that's not saying a lot for the Bears, but he's one of the better ones we've had. But, you know, I just don't think he got a good shake. And then, you know, I had my own grief with the way he threw. Like he could throw, you know, over the top balls fine, but when he would throw out routes, his out route always came like we was throwing with 2 hands. You know, like he threw it like a baseball player bats. You know what I'm saying? It's like both hands would come out and he would be doing that thing. And it always seemed weird when the ball would come out. And I'm like, if I'm a corner, I'm looking for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for that and I'm jumping on that. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. So now he's gone. He's been traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And shout out to my frat over there at Conversations with Cliff. I'm sure he's ecstatic as a Pittsburgh fan. But so now he's with the Pittsburgh Steelers, making it 2 black quarterbacks they have, if you round up. And so all eyes are focused on the consensus number 1 pick, Caleb Williams from USC, who's also a black quarterback, but, you know, he's a little different. Whatever, you know, he has a different game. But you know, because the NFL is a copycat league, everybody's looking for the new hot thing, and the new hot thing that's winning is Patrick Mahomes. So everybody's looking for, let's get the next Patrick Mahomes. I mean, hell, just looking like Patrick Mahomes is what got Trey Lance drafted, and that he sucks. He sucks. y'all almost made me do it, but he sucks. So anytime anyone talks about Caleb Williams, all of a sudden they are comparing his game to that of Patrick Mahomes. So you know, I guess it's only right. But I thought it was interesting that recently RG3 came out with this statement where he was basically saying, with the way that the Bears have treated Justin Fields, he wouldn't be surprised if Caleb Williams were to pull a Eli Manning like he did back in the day when Eli Manning was drafted by the Chargers, said, I'm not playing for you weirdos. Y'all need to let me go. I'm playing baseball. And they traded him to the Giants for a haul of picks. And so RG3 is saying like he wouldn't be surprised if Caleb Williams were to do something like that because, one, it's not like the Bears are a winning organization. Last time we were at the Super Bowl was 2006, and last time we won one was 1986. Let me get it right. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was the 85 season we won in 86. But I'm saying, so it's like, yeah, if he's trying to go to a winning organization or an organization that has a chance, or that even looks like they support their players, maybe Chicago ain't the place for him. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be surprised if he did it. And I would say it serves him right if he did do it. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, it's not like he's seeing from the Bears anything that says, hey, we support our quarterback. Now, because again, it's not like they rolled out the red carpet for Justin Fields when he came in. He didn't have nearly this amount of weapons that the Bears have right now. And he didn't have a good defense at his disposal either to kind of help him if he makes a mistake. So whoever is coming into the Bears is coming into a great situation versus that of what Justin Fields had. I would just say that if I'm looking at the thing from Caleb's perspective, I can understand what RG3 is saying. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, I'm not somebody who normally agrees with Andre 300 because at the end of the day, I think Justin Fields did pretty well with what we had and what he was given. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, who am I kidding? I mean, whoever gets selected, I do want them to flourish because I want them to beat Green Bay twice in the same year. Regularly if possible, because I want to give people like Tom Rossi, Green Bay's fan of the year, or the NFL's fan of the year, some content that doesn't make the Bears look mentally unwell. But I'm also looking forward to this upcoming draft to see actually who ends up being the guy that the Bears pull in. Looking forward to this upcoming season and whoever is the one that's calling the plays come game day. So until then, bear down. And with that, this has been The Blackman Show. Once again, this is 7 Blackman, and yes, my real name is Blackman. To those of you who get easily triggered when you hear colors and names at the same time and see faces. But I'm still inviting you to peep out our merch found at theblackmanshow.com. Follow the show on all the socials at Show The Blackman and connect with your boy. Now, if you got any suggestions or you want to holler, you can hit me there on Facebook in the Blackman Show page or group, or just hit me up at tbs@theblackmanshow.com. If you've enjoyed this video, I invite you to hit the like, hit the subscribe button, share this video with your peeps, and even hit that notification bell. Now, you all take care of each other until next time. Peace, and I'm out.